And I hope that this you will definitely that our promises are accurate, thanks to the great level of participation, thanks to the great level of speakers, and you will see in a few moments some good news, and every day we have more and more. So if we can put the PowerPoint presentation on the screen, please. I will go through a few slides, and then I will be in the hands of Fatma. Thank you again for being with us to answer to any question you have. So the agenda of today's meeting is quite, I would say, short. We will just say a few words for the people who are discovering for the first time the FI Institute, what we do. Then we'll speak about the 9th edition, and then we will answer to other points. So what do we do at FI Institute? So it's very clear in one slide. In one slide, what do we do at the Institute? We are trying to bring together the brightest minds and most promising solutions to serve humanity. Our motto is very simple: impact on humanity. We want to have an impact. I'm not sure you see well, so I will remove myself from the stage, and I will allow you to follow. I will even move, if I can, with the microphone. I think it's more important to see what we have on the slide than looking at me. So the mission is very simple, and this is why we have thousands of people coming every year to Riyadh to definitely come with solutions about the main challenges that we are facing. The vision is very simple. We're trying to work for the future, for the next generation. We want absolutely to create a future with purpose. We want our people to come to invest with purpose. It is an investment conference. And what do we do all year long? All year long, we work around 3 pillars: think, exchange, and act. This is what I'm calling our supply chain. So think is our laboratory of ideas. Every year, we issue indexes, reports, white papers, publications, and we initiate great projects. We will go about these initiatives, which should have an impact on humanity. Okay, can we stay, please, on the previous slide? Thank you. So, exchange is the pillar we have where we organize conferences. We do summits and conferences. The flagship event is happening every year in Riyadh, of course, end of October. But all year long, we have usually between 2 and 3 summits in different continents. We have the one in the United States now, which is becoming a tradition every year in Miami. And we have some in Europe, Latin America, Asia. We'll talk about it in a minute. And ACT is something quite unique, which is making us not just being a think tank, but being a do tank. So a do tank means what? Means that we want to invest in startups. We want to support, so we have an investment arm. And our investment arm, sorry, I'm just trying to keep, the computer wants to move forward, but I'm trying to control the computer. And we are trying to have actions on 4 main areas: AI and robotics, education, healthcare, and sustainability. This is why you will see that some of our missions are related to these pillars. Few words about ACT, because it's very important and it is making the FI Institute unique. I really insist. The FI Institute was born in Saudi Arabia. It was an idea from His Royal Highness the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. It was created by a decree from His Majesty. So it's very unique. And we have this pillar, which is extremely important because you will not find that in many institutions. We invest money to help startups. So we invested more than $6 million in the past few years to help some companies to grow. And as you can see, more than $87 million has been raised by private portfolio companies as additional funding. So because we are supporting some startup, other investors are coming with us to support these startups. And these 6 companies that we invested in, they generated and they created more than 2,000 jobs. And you will meet some of them at the FII9, inshallah. And then we are launching an FII Ventures program. So we selected more than 750 companies, startup tech companies, many of them in the AI sectors. And as you can see, 5 innovators were selected, and we will have a pitch during FII, and we are supporting them to be, after being identified as pioneers, we will help them to accelerate their growth, to be recognized, and to have an impact by stimulating economies, create jobs also, and growing, and to become new champions. Few words now about the FII9 edition, where you will, inshallah, attend in less than a week now. So, in October 2017, we started. Time is flying. But I want you to be proud of what the Kingdom is doing. Why? Because in the Kingdom, in 2017, we said that the world will face a big shift. No one was talking about the influence coming from the East. We said already in 2017, you will see, ladies and gentlemen, in the world, that the East will start to be more bigger than the West. So we are quite pioneer and visionary by talking about the big shift. Then in 2018, we knew that technology will come, we knew that this will have a big impact, and already in 2018, we are talking about preparing the 22nd century. Which happened in 2019, the economy was not doing very well. And we were asking, what is next for the global business? So we asked a very serious question for the FII number 3. Then what happened? If you remember well, time is flying. End of 2019, COVID. In 2020, we forgot. We were all wearing masks. We were locked down. All cities were closed. We were the only conference in the world in 2020 who decided to continue and to happen in Riyadh. And as you know, we hosted the hybrid summit. 700 people came. They were all separated by this famous 2 meters distance. But mashallah, we were very, very optimistic. And we said, you will see, the world is resilient and we will face a neo-renaissance, a new renaissance. And look, we already forgot, alhamdulillah, and COVID. Tourism is bigger than ever. When you go to airport, you see you cannot even have access. The world is back. The world is stronger than ever because humanity is strong. And I'm happy that we all decided in 2020 to say and to send this message from Riyadh, we will see the neo-renaissance. But we realized in 2020 that the world was not investing enough on what? Healthcare, on education. We should not forget, ladies and gentlemen, you, the journalists, the media, it's very important to repeat that in your media. So many kids were excluded from the education system during COVID. They were not having access to computers. Not everyone has access to computer. They even not in some countries have access to electricity. So how can you have a computer if you don't have power? How can you do online education if you don't have a computer? This is why we said we need to invest in humanity. We need to invest in healthcare. Look what is happening in many countries now. The Gen generation, Gen Z, is in the street. They want access to healthcare. So it's very important to invest in humanity and to look at 2022. We said we are facing a new global order. It's definitely a new global order, and you, the media, are speaking a lot about this new global order. But to understand this new global order, you need a new compass to help you to find your way, to navigate in this new global order. And we realize that the half-full glass is important, and this is why last year we said, hey, we need to look at the infinite horizon. There is a lot of opportunities. We should keep being optimistic because there is a lot of things to do. And this year, we know that people are looking forward for having access to prosperity. Everyone wants access to prosperity, prosperity for all. So we will hope that, we're hoping that all the conversation of FI9 will discuss about how can we unlock the keys to prosperity. This is why the thematic is extremely accurate. We are making, and we made many announcements during FII. During the past 8 years, almost $200 billion were signed. I'm not talking about MOUs I'm talking about a real contract which were signed, having an impact on so many sectors: logistics, AI, clean energy, mobility, finance. The question is how much we will expect in 2025? I don't know, but I will just remind you something. Last year, same time, I was expecting, because the question was asked, $25 billion to be signed. We ended with more than $60 billion. So let's hope for beating the record of last year. This is why I have a question mark. We'll see. Every day we have some great corporations who are coming, telling us we will sign something, we'll sign something. So we will discover, inshallah, in 1 week, how many billions will be signed to have an impact on humanity. So I will not spend too much time on the key to prosperity thematic. I explain why we came with this thematic. What is important is to understand what the program will be talk about. As you know, today, the world is looking at progress. The world is looking at innovation. But the world is also fragmented. So, but, as you can see, progress, innovation, and fragmentation are also creating paradoxes. We see a lot of paradoxes, and this is what we are trying to discuss. We want to address and to talk about the paradoxes which will come from these three main trends today in the world, which are everyone is looking for progress and growth, for innovation, and for fragmentation. Then, this is what the program will look like. We're starting, inshallah, exactly in 1 week from now, on October 27, at the Ritz-Carlton. We will host many conclaves. Conclaves are what we call Chatham House rules conversation between CEOs, leaders, about specific topic. And the conference itself will start on Tuesday, 28th of October, for 3 days. Each single day has its own momentum. And as you can see, we have a lot of plenary sessions, conclaves, again, many workshops that we call labs, and of course, we have many side meetings happening in different locations. We have, for the first time, more than 20 head of states. Never happened before. The maximum we had was 3 head of states. So this is a very important news. It shows the success of the event. This list is not even final. Yesterday, we knew that the Vice President of China is coming. The number 2 of China will be here and will deliver a speech. Few hours ago, I got the confirmation that His Excellency Ahmed al-Shara, the President of Syria, is coming and will deliver a speech. So you see the list here. This list is not even final, because every day we are getting more and more head of state who are invited to come, and they are coming. They see now how serious, how big is the program, and they want to be part of it. So we have the head of state of Albania, Bangladesh, Bulgaria, China, Colombia, Cuba, Cyprus, Ecuador, Equatorial Guinea, Guyana, Iraq, Jordan, Kosovo, Mauritania, Montenegro, Pakistan, Rwanda, Syria, which means the global south also is very active. What you can see that a country like Guyana, who went in Guyana here in this room? I'm sure that no one never visited Guyana. Guyana has discovered almost, I'm not kidding, the same quantity of oil than Saudi Arabia. And Guyana will become the next big champion in the world. And the president, for the first time, has decided to attend the conference, and he decided to come to FII. So look at this country, because you will see. This country is booming. And this is why Venezuela wants to take control of Guyana. Because if you don't know where is Guyana, it's next to Venezuela in Latin America. And His Excellency, the President of Guyana, is a very interesting guy, and he fought for his country, and he's resisting, and he's trying to make Guyana the next big champion. But I can say that about many countries. We will see the renaissance of Syria. As you know, it's a very important country. And Saudi Arabia will play a big role on the renaissance of Syria. So we can go country by country. They are very interesting countries. And of course, to hear from the Vice President of China, at a very important moment when you see what is happening between the US and China will be very interesting. More than 8,000 delegates, 600 plus speakers, 56 strategic partners who are helping the FII Institute to grow, more than 250 sessions. And I would like to attract your attention on something on this slide. 3 years ago, if we were looking at the top industries, finance was dominating by far, 70%. Who is today very strong? Tech and AI. FII was never the place for tech and AI companies. Now it is becoming the place where all champions from AI, the Googles, the Microsoft, the NVIDIAs are coming to FII. So this is very important. And you can see how the people from North America loves FII. They are coming at 40%. And then when you see the MENA region, of course, Europe, Asia, we are still a little bit far from Latin America. This is why we decided to go to Rio de Janeiro a few years ago. And this is why we decided also probably to go to Africa, because it's quite complicated for these people sometimes to come to us. We have a very important day. The third day of the conference is dedicated to investment and only investment. It is called the Investment Day. It is a big innovation. As you can see, we are building a full ecosystem of investors, great partners, from NEA to Avra to World, etc., to Bicycle, to Galaxy. We're doing that with PIF and Aramco, of course. We have two great sponsors, NTPD and Lakestar. And as you can see, this program will address, we have many summits inside the conference. The PIF Asset Management Forum, a board of game changers in new leaders, master classes, tech funding, fundraising roadshow. We have great FII innovator pitch and so far and so on. Having said that, these are few of the plenaries. We are just sharing that with you to help you to navigate inside the program. It's not easy to always say, oh my God, which session should I attend? So we just highlighted here the key session of the program. These are the main plenary session about innovation and the paradox of innovation. As you can see, we'll be talking about many stuff. Fragmentation, this is one of the most important topic also about fragmentation, and so far and so on. Speakers, as you can see, this is not exhaustive. But in addition of His Royal Highness Prince Abdulaziz bin Salman and His Excellency Yasser Rumayyan and many other ministers, we have really la crème de la crème in terms of global CEOs in the world. From Bill Ackman, who is, just Google this name in case you don't know them well, and you will see who are these people. More than probably $100 trillion will be attending FII. So it's really massive. It is showing that these people are coming not because they are looking for the money of Saudi Arabia, I can tell you. These people are coming because FII became the place to network, to discuss, to come with ideas, and this is why our dream a few years ago to create an amazing platform where people will come to have global conversation, because Riyadh is a hub, Riyadh is becoming the Bari center of the world, is happening now. So as you can see, we have even new people coming who are joining the conversations. And of course, sorry, I will go back to the slide. I don't know why the computer is always accelerating. But okay, as you can see, you have great champions from Intel, from amazing company like Charter Bank, Snapchat, missing some name like Donald Trump Jr., who will be also coming, the son of the president, because he has his own private equity firms, and so far and so on. We have an amazing group of partners, amazing group of partners. We are very proud to have more than 50 plus international and local companies who are supporting FII Institute. And of course, we have knowledge partners always helping us on data, access to, I would say, topic-specific reports, and so far and so on. And then, thank you, the media. Thank you, and I mean it. As you know, we are probably the only conference which allows media to be in the center of the action. We are not putting you on the other side of the street. We want you to be part of the conversation. We want you to be our echo chambers of what is happening. So many people don't have access to information. So this is why we welcome you inside the conference to be sure that you can relay what will be discussed, because we want to have people to have access to information, access to knowledge. So we have many media outlets attending FII9, as you can see here, and it's not exhaustive. And we have, of course, it's a long list. I think it's almost in 2 or 3 slides. As you can see, we are very happy, of course, to have Saudi Press Agency, and thank you again for hosting us today, really. Thank you for your hospitality, SPA, always a great partner. And of course, we have, as you can see here, many media from Asia, from India, from Europe. The whole world is here, literally the whole world. So please accept in advance my apologies if sometime you will not have access everywhere, because it's not easy to accommodate more than 8,000 people plus the media everywhere, but we will do our best. We will be launching this year again the Priority Compass for the 4th edition. This report is becoming extremely important. And please, it's not because I need publicity. We need you to help us to promote this compass, because if you were doing it at the beginning when we started, many leaders will not do the mistake they did. What is this compass? Sorry to repeat. It's a survey that we do every year, where we ask people all over the world, what is your priority? What are your expectations? How do you see the world? How do you see your leaders? How do you see your country moving forward? For 4 consecutive years, they said cost of living, cost of living, cost of living. Yes, climate change is important, but it was number 5. Number 6 sometimes. So if world leaders were listening to this report and reading this report, trust me, many of them will not do the mistake that they did, and they will avoid what was mentioned in the first report, in the second report, in the third report. What is threat number 1? Threat number 1, social revolution. And look what is happening. Look what happened in Madagascar a few weeks ago. People went in the street. And what happened? The president was obliged to exit from his own country. And I can mention that to many other countries. So this FII Priority Report, Compass, trust me, it's a very important tool. I wish you can make noise about it, because you will help many leaders to understand what's going on in the world today, and we'll release it exclusively the first day of FII. Then we are launching some initiatives, because we want to have an impact on humanity, as we say. One will be a big initiative on AI. We want AI to be inclusive. So as you can see, and we will give you access to this presentation, you will understand what we want to achieve with this AI. We are trying to support AI companies all over the world, including in Africa, in Latin America, in some place where they don't have access. And we want government to work with us to be sure that AI will be inclusive. So this is very important, especially in emerging markets. Another very important initiative. We want people, you and me, to be healthy. Everyone hopes to live long life, but we need to be long life in healthy conditions. So this is why we are pushing corporations, health companies, insurance, and governments to work together. To do what? To give you access, you as employee, to a free medical checkup every 2 years. Today it's very easy to have access to medical checkup. And then this is how you will discover that you are in good health, and if, God forbid, you have something wrong, preventively it will be fixed, very early stage. And of course, corporations need to pay for this medical checkup. Healthcare insurance, they need to pay at least 50% of it, and then government will not make it as a tax issue. Then we have a last initiative about oceans and how to protect the oceans. This initiative is hosted and chaired by Her Royal Highness Princess Rima. Last but not least, we have an amazing tool, which is your partner also. We're not trying to compete with you. At the opposite, we're trying just to also have our own network, which is the FI Institute TV, our own studio, where we have our own programs, and we'll be happy to collaborate with many of you to see how we can schedule, edit some program and some things together. Last but not least, after FII9, we have our FII Priority Summit. The next one will be first week of December and last day of November in Tokyo. We are going to Asia. We already have more than 500 delegates registered for the new Asia topic, which will be happening in Tokyo for the first time going to Japan. And then we will go back to Miami in March 25th, 26th, 27th for the FII priority in United States of America, before probably going to Europe and going again to Asia end of 2026. Thank you for your attention. And now I think we are starting a conversation with Fatma, if I'm not mistaken. Thank you.
Amazing numbers, Richard. You have mentioned amazing announcement. I mean, number 2 of China, Ahmed al-Shara, more than $100 trillion is going to be available in this 9th edition. I mean, this is really exciting news. But first, Richard, always a pleasure.
Same.
So let me begin. 9th edition in FII has become more than just a conference or a gathering. It's a platform to think, exchange, and act, as you mentioned. So what should we look forward to in this edition?
In fact, this edition will probably address so many topics, but it will take ages. But what we probably can expect is to have very deep conversation between people who sometimes don't talk between them. As you can see, we have a lot of Americans, we have Chinese coming, we have Russians coming, we have people from Africa. So it is becoming really a place where everyone is talking. I think we are very inclusive, and this is my first expectation, is to have dialogues between people who usually don't talk. We have Kirill Dmitriev, who is the head of the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Russia, coming with his own delegation. You have Ukrainian who will be coming, as you can see.
That's very interesting.
Yes, and we have the Chinese and the Americans under the same roof. And this is happening thanks to what is happening in Saudi Arabia and in Riyadh.
Such a neutral place to me.
It's a neutral place, and I think we are symbolizing that peace will bring prosperity. And this is what is our key message.
And in terms of that, peace brings prosperity. It is known that CEOs dream in public. We always hear that, right? CEOs dream in public. But at FII, they become doers, not only dreamers. So how did FII convince those world's busiest minds to leave their meetings, cancel meetings, and fly here?
You know, when we started FII in 2017, His Royal the Crown Prince had a very simple definition. He said, we need to create a place where people will come to understand where the money is going in terms of sectors and in terms of geographies. I think this value proposition is still valid. They leave their place, they leave their offices because they come here, because they learn. They learn, they are coming back because they are happy with the quality of the content, and as you can see, the program is outstanding. They learn from pioneers, they learn from experts, and then they are having amazing opportunities to discuss with their peers, with some unexpected people, unexpected conversation, and this is why you go somewhere and you come back. It's because, as His Royal Highness also mentioned once at FII, when he was trying to give the definition of Saudi Arabia, he said this is a place for dreamers who are doers.
Yeah.
And I think this is what is happening. The people who are coming are dreamers, but also doers. And FII, in fact, is a call to action. We're not just having intellectual conversations. We're leaving Riyadh, usually on Friday, with tangible solutions, tangible actions, and things are happening. It's very concrete.
Beautiful. So I understood from what you just said and from your presentation as well that FII starts conversations and catalyzes action as well. So looking back since the first version to the 8th version, we're talking about $200 billion. Can you tell us more in terms of numbers and what to expect in this 9th edition? Announcements maybe, Richard, maybe deals listed, sectors involved?
No, I think many deals will happen in many sectors. AI, definitely big. Renewable energy, definitely big. Infrastructure, definitely big. So all these sectors will be very highly represented. And I'm sure that we will exceed. My instinct is that we will exceed 2024.
I'm sure of it too. I'm really sure. Well, in terms of call to action, now how many MOUs really matured into real projects in the past years, and what made them move forward from stage to action?
You know, I always say that we don't want FII to be the place where you do the World Championship of MOUs. So this is why we are trying to really have real contracts, real agreements. So I cannot answer to how many MOUs were signed, because usually we only sign agreements and real deals.
Beautiful.
And this is what I'm really personally looking at with my teams when they come and they tell me, oh, the team is here, and I would like to thank them again, because the comms team is doing an amazing job and always leading all these announcements. And we say, guys, don't come to me with MOUs. Come to me with real deals. It will be signed. So how many announcements do we have for this year, Rosa? More than 40? 40.
More
so
than
40 announcements.
Already listed.
Already
wow.
listed and will be scheduled.
Beautiful. And there's more to come, I imagine, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, top speaker, delegates, big names are attending, more than 21, you said? Top leaders and delegates. And
yes, 21 world leaders, almost 40 ministers at a very high level ranking, which will make almost 60, 70 public figures, representing almost all continents. And as I say, 800 delegates, all continents represented. So yes, numbers are quite impressive.
Well, what challenges or problems are they here to address, to fix, to solve, let's say?
Listen, I think many world leaders today are very concerned by these, I would say, challenges that they face with the tariffs. You wake up in the morning, you don't know anymore what will be the percentage that you will get.
Yeah.
Because the host at the White House.
No comment from my side.
No, but you know, he has his own strategy, and it has an impact on the global economy.
Naturally.
So they want to come and to understand what's going on. But at the same time, people are looking at how they can make their countries prosperous, how they can create jobs, how they can have much more collaborations between countries, how Europe will not be left behind. Some people are saying that Europe is over when they see the emergence of Asia, United States coming back, and Middle East, of course, doing extremely well, GCC in particular. Everyone is looking at the Arabic Peninsula as the place to be for the next 10 years. So yes, we are at a very important milestone with 2025. It's 5 years before Vision 2020, 2030. So it's a very interesting time. People want to understand also what is happening in this part of the world. So in fact, people are coming because they really want to get information to do what? What the CEO has to do, which is first to have the right strategy for his own or her own company. So people are learning, and trust me, they learn a lot from here to help to focus, tune their strategy. Where should be their priorities in terms of investment, in terms of recruitment, in terms of geographies, in terms of almost everything. So, and they learn a lot from the Vision 2030, and this is why they come back to see how things are moving forward. And I'm sure that here we will define probably what will happen for the next decade.
Beautiful. Well, I ask about morning after FII wraps. How do you measure really the outcome? How do you say, yes, the week has been worth it?
It's a very important question. And first of all, we conduct a survey because we cannot do self-satisfaction. So we ask our members, because we have FI Institute is an organization based on members. We have almost 1,500 members. Our target is to slowly go to 3,000 members. And we want our members to be happy and to be satisfied. So we ask our members, were you happy with the content? Were you happy with the meetings? Were you happy with the outcomes? This is how we measure the first success. Number two, we look at the announcement, and we try to understand it's not about the billions. It's about the nature of the announcement, and this announcement will create jobs and will have an impact on the local or regional economies. The second parameter, or the second KPI, if you want. And third, it's you. How the media absolutely, are talking about FII. If you criticize, we are not happy, not because you criticize, because it means that we didn't do a good job. If you, like last year, really we got amazing coverage with amazing, I would say, comments, positive critics from your colleagues from CNN to CNBC to Al Arabiya to Sharq al-Awsat to everyone was almost unanimous to say great content, great people, so having an impact. So these are the main 3 KPIs for us.
Beautiful. Now you mentioned the compass. Can you tell me more about that? Could you give me or share with me one thing that the compass reflected to you that's important that leaders must look forward to in the future?
You know, as I said, this compass is extremely interesting because it is giving the voice to people from all countries. We have more than 32 countries getting the survey. Thousands and thousands and thousands of citizens. We're doing that in partnership with Ipsos, which is one of the leading polls companies in the world. So it's a very serious compass. It is taking a lot of our time, energy, and money. Because after COVID, I realized that the priorities of everybody was changing. And I'm sure if you question yourself and you go back and say, oh, wow, what were my priorities in 2019 and what my priorities become in 2021? And you see that. And sorry to say that this compass is showing that there is still a total disconnection between citizen and world leaders.
Oh.
And I will share with you one of the results. If you ask citizens all over the world, they say 76% I'm happy and confident on my direction. I think I'm taking me the right direction for my life. My country,
not so sure.
40%. The world, 20%. So people are extremely concerned about how the world is managed and how their countries are managed. So there is definitely a big disconnection.
Not in Saudi, just to be clear.
No. You will see. It's very interesting. I don't want to do self-propaganda about Saudi, but Saudi Arabia is extremely well rated.
Yeah.
Not only this year, last year and the previous. Why?
In the compass or in general?
In the compass.
In the compass.
In the compass. In the compass, I would say that Saudi Arabia is probably one of the top countries because where people are happy, because people have a vision, and people trust the leader, and they understand where the leader wants to go. But it's not the case in many other countries.
And seeing impact.
Oh, they see impact and they see change. Listen, it's not, no need to do propaganda again, but people who are visiting Saudi Arabia not even a year now, every month, they see changes.
Exactly.
They see impact. So definitely this is why FII is also a very interesting conference for people, because they use this opportunity to come back to Saudi Arabia and to see how things are moving, because we are becoming a place to influence others by best practices in so many sectors. Sport, entertainment, sustainability, and so far and so on. Absolutely.
And you emphasize the importance of technology and AI, and you mentioned that it's being really attracted to FII now in the past few years.
Yes, and sorry to interrupt you, but what is making all people coming? The launch of Humane. His Royal Highness launched Humane a few months ago, when people realized, say, oh my God, Saudi Arabia is not kidding. Saudi Arabia will become a big, serious player on AI. So they are all coming, and you will see, I cannot give you the numbers, huge announcement, huge deals between Humane and big players.
Okay, well, maybe not numbers, but can you give me the most exciting tech innovation that we might see in this edition?
Oh, you will see robotics. You will see definitely so many applications around AI. So many, because AI is not a philosophy. AI is just algorithms which are taking data to helping many industries to be improved, to be more efficient, to be more quick. And this is what you will see at FII. You will see a lot of applications, especially at the tech corner that we have. We are putting in place 6 or 7, I would say, activations, which are extremely exciting.
That's really exciting.
I wish FI Institute will not be just a not-for-profit organization, but we'll have, like acting as a private bank, we take 1% of all the deals happening, then it will be very profitable.
But wouldn't it be? All right, so let's talk a little bit about initiative. You also emphasized that through your presentation. FII was once called Davos of the desert. But now some call it, or FII, Davos is becoming FII in the Alps. What do you think of that?
You know, I will not make any comments about that because I was the producer of Davos for 15 years. So I respect the World Economic Forum. But I'm happy to host for the first time the president of the World Economic Forum.
Beautiful.
Who is coming and attending. So
Beautiful.
he was invited, he's coming. We'll see how we react when he will see who we are.
Beautiful.
Because definitely, I don't think we are in the desert.
Not
at all.
anymore, at least. Huh? Well, how is FII creating impact on humanity? You have emphasized how important that is.
Yes. So we are really trying to, if these initiatives worked well, we will impact a lot of young people who are dreaming to be part of this AI revolution. Because today, so many young kids in Africa, in Latin America, they have amazing ideas about what they can do with just 10, 15, 20, $50,000 just to launch an app.
Yeah.
And this is why we want to help them, because they have so much great ideas. And if you support these young, talented people who do not have access to financing, they just have an idea, and they don't need to buy microprocessors, you know, they just want to use ChatGPT, because today, thanks to ChatGPT, you can do a lot of things, including creating some new businesses. Mm-hmm. So we want to help these ones, and I think we can have a big impact in many continents. And number two, we want to have a positive impact on your own life. I am personally a strong believer on preventive and predictive medicine. Mm-hmm. You know, I will give you a sad anecdote, not because I want to close with a sad stuff, but one of your colleagues, who was my very close friend, many people know her, she was the founder of Newsweek magazine, Lali Wemos, a big name. Lali Wemos passed away a few days ago, in 1 month.
Peace be upon her.
In 1 month. Pancreas cancer, stage 4. She never did a single test. Never. When you do preventive medicine, predictive medicine, God forbid, if something is wrong, you can discover it at stage 1. And then 99% you can be cured. This is why I'm a strong believer on preventive predictive medicine. We have the tools, we have everything. Saudi Arabia now is starting a great program. Japan is a pioneer. Today, if you are a Japanese citizen, you have access every year to a medical checkup where they check 18 items in your body. Now, Saudi Arabia, I think it's 5 or 6, 7. I spoke to the Minister of Health, and I think this has to be generalized. Yeah. And us, CEOs from corporations, our duty is to make our employees, our staff, healthy. Sometimes we say happy wife, happy life. I say that often. Happy employees, happy companies.
Absolutely.
Happy citizen, happy country.
Absolutely.
So this is why we need to look at this initiative.
I cannot agree with you more. But let me take you one step back to the
Please.
youth and supporting young businesses and all that. What is FII doing in this cycle to give founders, SMEs, young creators, real shot at the table?
Yes. First of all, our program is very inclusive with a lot of young people. We are becoming really the bridge, the catalyst between the old generation and the young generation of business leaders, entrepreneurs, whatever. So we have many young people speaking at FII, and we really push for that. So number one, we're giving them an opportunity to be heard, to be vocal, to be connected also, which is very important. I see every year people stopping me sometime in airports. It happened to me in Riyadh a few months ago. A young couple, they came. They told me, oh, it was July. They were going on vacations. They stopped me at Riyadh airport, and they told me, oh, thank you. I said, thank you for what? We attended FII last year. We were in the corridors, and thanks to FII, we're able to raise financing for our project.
Beautiful.
So now me, a lady, she launched her fashion abaya stuff with financing, and the young man was having an AI app supported by some financials. So this is what we do, and it happens much more often than just this young couple from Saudi Arabia.
Well, thank you for sharing that story. I want to end with 2 questions, and I really have a lot of questions, but I don't want to be selfish. I want to give my colleagues a chance to also ask, so please prepare your questions for Richard in just a moment. So 2 questions. First, why Riyadh? Even after 9 editions, still people are asking why Riyadh. What do you tell them?
To be honest, I think if you look at the world map, I always say that Riyadh is at the barycenter. And it is an amazing connector between north and south, east and west. Number one. So there is a logic. Number two, it is probably the place, I'm quite now old, I would say, so enough to look at what I saw the past 40 years of my life, and action is happening here, in this part of the world. The transformation happening in this country remind me what happened in China 20 plus years ago, at the scale of 35 million people versus 1.2 billion. But trust me, the number of projects that we call here Giga project, but not only that, the way things are moving forward, it's amazing. Each time I come, I have something new in the airport, from e-gates, then smart gates, then, so it's really, you don't realize because it is your day-to-day, but trust me, the speed of the transformation of this country and Riyadh in particular is amazing. It is not by coincidence that Expo 2030 is happening here. It's not by coincidence that the World Cup 2034 will happen here. It's not by coincidence that the Asian, so many stuff are happening here. So it was totally logic to host something in Riyadh. But the most important, in total objectivity, there is only one man behind FII, who is His Royal the Crown Prince. No, I mean it.
That's true.
It's his idea. It's not mine. It's his idea. And he was 27 years old when we had this conversation, and he told me, we should do something here. And the whole FII is his idea. Yeah. And I will share something. In 2016, when we started to talk about what will happen for FII number one, he told me two things. Please, Richard, don't forget, please, to put AI in the center of the conversations.
Wow. In 2016.
16. And robotics. And when he went far, he told me I can share because now it's public and it's not so confidential. And he told me, please, I would like to be sure that you are addressing a topic on AI and ethics.
Wow.
And AI and robotics and ethics. Because one day, maybe we'll have more robots than humans. This is exactly what Elon Musk said a few months ago. This was 2016.
Wow.
So the reason is very simple. There is a will from a leader to host something, and we are very proud that we are delivering.
Beautiful. Well, let me end with this. And we media, we love a little bit of gossip, so be honest. Who was the hardest speaker to secure this year, and how did you convince them to come?
Oops. I think probably it's
China's
very
number two?
Sorry?
China's number two?
China number two as a political leader, because he just confirmed yesterday.
Yeah.
So it was not an easy task, to be honest, but it shows how FII, how the kingdom is perceived. And he's not coming alone, he's coming with a big delegation.
Wow, beautiful.
6 ministers and so far.
So we expect a great outcome from that
absolutely.
visit.
And as a public sector, I will say it was very difficult to convince all the tech guys to come. Because, you know, I was 10 days ago with Elon Musk. I went to visit him in Palo Alto. He was very kind last year, and I told him, we're talking about coming, and he told me, Richard, come to see. We spent 2 hours together. This guy, like many people in Palo Alto, they don't sleep.
Oh my God.
They work 24/7. It's a race. I realized, we don't realize, AI is a race. The guy is working night and days and spending billions of dollars. I had no clue that it was so costly to develop these OpenAI tools, ChatGPT tools, XAI. He's working on Grok 5. This guy told me, Richard, I don't have time to see my family. This is why my kids come to see me at the office, and all his kids were in the office.
That's true, we always see that in
They
pictures.
were all with him. And then we went together to the Optimus lab, the robots, Tesla robots lab. And he opened this huge warehouse. I saw 300 robots. Scary, huh?
Wow.
But he was working with the whole people working night and days to be sure that these robots will become probably one of the best things that we will see in terms of technology. So these guys, they don't have time to come. So when I see that many of them part of these tech companies are coming. It was a big sell, a big hard sell, and they are coming, which means I know how their time is very valuable, how their time is precious, and we are very happy because it was not an easy sale. And they are all coming, except Elon, who definitely is coming time to time with us, and we are very much connected. And he came here just 3 months ago for the visit of President Trump. So we cannot ask him to come back every 2 months to Riyadh.
True, busy man. Well, we are really looking forward to this edition, and I am really excited too, and have a lot of questions. So I want to give that chance for them, Richard, if you don't mind.
Anytime, please.
Well, we have a hand over there in the back. That gentleman, please. Yes. Please state your name and the entity you're in, and keep your question short, please.
Okay, hi Richard,
Hi.
very nice to see you. First of all, I would like to express our great appreciation for FII invited Xinhua News Agency from China as the media partner this year. And I based in Riyadh through 2021, so this is my 5th times for the FII. This is great honor. As you mentioned, your announcement, the Vice President of China will visit will visit FII this year. As we saw that you will set up the Tokyo Priority Summit in the end of this year, and is there any opportunity or initiative that FII will set up the Chinese Mainland Summit next year? Because next year would be the China Arab Summit and China Gulf GCC Country Summit. And if you can, and we will support ourselves to help and co-organize the Shanghai Summit in China next year. Thank you.
To be very transparent, it is part of my agenda on the topic points that I will have, I hope, when I will meet with the Vice President.
Thank
There
you
you
so
have
much.
it.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? I'm sure there's a lot of exciting questions we can ask. Okay, we have a hand here in the front.
But just to your point, we go to countries where we are invited.
Hani Dindini from Al Arabiya Business.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Last year, FII9 secured 60 billion in investments. What is your bet on this year in terms of numbers, and which sectors you think these investments are going to go to?
I told you we love numbers.
I am not betting, so I'm not answering to the numbers, but I can answer to the sectors. I know already that many deals will be probably signed in renewable energy, AI, in infrastructure, in food security. So these are few of the main sectors which definitely, Rosalia, help me. Do you have other big sectors? Tourism, entertainment. So as you can see, you can take all the big pillars of Vision 2030 and you will have important deals. But my bet is to be higher than last year.
Beautiful. I know this lovely lady had a question. Would you like to ask your question?
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'm from China Media Group, which including China Central Television. My question is, can you give us more information about China's participation in this year's conference?
So as I said, we have, as already before the Vice President was confirmed, we had 170 Chinese CEOs who registered. So we have a very good number of Chinese CEOs who are coming. Many represent the tech industry. As you know, your country is booming in terms of technology, AI, electric batteries, and so far and so on. So many of these private equities are coming. And then, of course, we expect with the Vice President to have a big delegation coming. As I said, we were informed that probably 4 or 5 ministers will be with him. I don't know exactly who will be these ministers. I will know probably the detail in the next few hours. And other delegates will accompany the Vice President. So definitely it will be a big impact. China will have a big role this year, a big exposure. The Vice President is speaking at the end of day 1, which is end of Tuesday, late afternoon. And we are looking forward to hear from here about, to know more about how China is doing and how China will continue to play a big role globally.
And we have a question over here. Please go ahead.
Hello, Basman Basrawi from Al-Iqtisadiya newspaper. So you mentioned a large gap between citizens and world leader satisfaction, and you mentioned that Saudi is a pioneer in that satisfaction. How do you think the FII taking place in Saudi really models that gap for other world leaders to follow suit?
It's a very good question. Thank you. I hope that the 20 leaders who will come also will take consideration about the FII priority report. And if not, trust me, I will ask moderators to highlight that point with them. Because it's not just to come and to be a leader doing propaganda about your country, but it's a great place to invest. We need to ask the transparent and direct questions. And this is many things that we always try to have with our friends from the media. It's not just to be here to do propaganda, but to ask provocative questions. And I know this is one of your core expertise. You need to ask the reality. We need to understand what's going on. We need to understand what should be done. We need to see how public-private partnerships could help. Because I think that one of the main solutions for all the challenges that any country is facing is public-private partnership. And this is why Saudi Arabia is doing very well. It started with public engagement. Now you see more and more private sector. You see more and more public-private partnerships. And you encourage entrepreneurships. So I think solutions exist. You know, nothing is coming like a fatality. So these are the conversations I always have. I'm so privileged to meet many world leaders and say, guys, please, you need to make a pause and you need to listen to your citizens and to take actions. People want you to invest in education. People want you to invest in healthcare. I always say this anecdote. I'm not speaking now as FII. It was before FII. I hosted one day a meeting in Africa, a big conference. And I was moderating a session with 7 African leaders. And we were talking about education and healthcare and so far. It was years ago. And when I left, they were all coming with great ideas and we will do and we will do. Then we went on the green room and I was with them, 7 of them. I told them, gentlemen, Mr. President, you almost made a commitment in front of 2,000 people. I really hope that you will deliver in your countries what you said. Because if you don't, you will lose your job. They were shocked. 5 of them, 6 months later, were gone. So it's a very serious matter. And I think it's important to listen to the citizen. And the best example, indeed, this is why very good rating, the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, because if you look at Vision 2030, and if you read it, there is always this amazing sentence where you have to take care of the vibrant society of the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. And I think it is important. So definitely, I'm not surprised to see very good, I would say, feedback survey coming from the Kingdom.
Investing in humanity, as
Of
you always
course.
say.
Of course.
Please, we have a question here.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Theodora.
My name is Abdul Majid. I'm from Alif Alf radio station. I noticed one of the speaker, the CEO of the BlackRock. Would you please tell us?
Larry Fink?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Would you please tell us the amount of investment of a BlackRock in Saudi Arabia? Because BlackRock, as you know, it's
Huge.
Huge. You know, the biggest fund around the world. You know, please tell us about that.
Sorry to disappoint you, I don't know the exact number.
Okay.
But we will take your contact and we'll ask my friends from BlackRock.
And also, what's attract them, the CEO of the BlackRock, to come to the FII?
You know,
FII. Okay.
Larry Fink is coming since the beginning, every year. Every year. He didn't miss a single edition. So it means that he sees here huge opportunities. He has trust with people. He became very close to the leader. He became very close to the chairman of Aramco and governor of PF and His Excellency Yasser Rumayyan. So, you know, at the end of the day, you do business with people that you trust. You do business and you invest in countries where you see a future, where you see a good return of investment. So they opened a big office in Riyadh recently, as you know. And it's not only him, because there is another guy who is a very difficult guy to catch, talking back to your question, who is coming back for the second time only, is Jamie Dimon from JP Morgan. And more important, JP Morgan is hosting the day before FII their annual meeting in Riyadh. So he's bringing all the JP Morgan executives to host their meeting in Riyadh on Sunday, 26th. No, no, it's not. So, you know, this is how the impact is on humanity, but the impact also on business leaders. And once again, I have no merit. It says Royal Head the conference who was able to convince him that Riyadh is a place to be.
One more question? Lucky you, please go ahead. Can we have two more questions? We have a lovely lady here with a question. Now
Thank
you're
you,
being
Richard.
selfish.
This is Hani Rawaz from Augustus Media. I would like to ask you, how do you see the difference in hosting FII in Riyadh comparing to other countries?
I'm thinking of the other countries, you know. I hosted probably more than 2,000 conferences in my life. Frankly speaking, it's not easy, because it's never easy. But I would say that everything is accessible. It's an amazing destination. The quality of accommodation is great. You don't find many locations at the level of the King Abdulaziz Center. People are very committed. And I will share something with you. We, humbly, at our level, had also an impact by inspiring so many people who created their own business thanks to FII. In 2017, 2018, I had a lot of Saudi kids, literally kids, who had no clue what the conference was about. But I like to empower the youth. So they came as ushers, literally ushers, moving tables and chairs. And then they learn. Today, I can give you at least 20 of them. They are the CEOs of their own companies and events companies. So we became a competition, no, joke aside.
Such an inspiring story.
Definitely, it's an amazing destination, and it's not by coincidence that the Kingdom and Riyadh in particular is hosting thousands of conferences every year. It's not because it is a place to be. It's because you have the whole infrastructure to host all these conferences, the right people, the right talent, the right, I would say, infrastructure. And if you are a hard worker, you get things done. So I think it's one of the, I don't know, you need to ask my teams, but I think it's one of the great destinations. People love coming here and spend time here. So it's A+. Thank you.
All right, please go ahead.
Abir Hamadi from Sharq Al-Awsat newspaper. Mr. Atias, you mentioned Russian participation this year. Is it the first time at this level? And what is the expected scale of representation?
No, it's not the first time at all. Russians were with us since the beginning. And Mr. Kirill Dmitriev, who is head of the Sovereign Wealth Fund of Russia, came many times here. Of course, he was not here last year, and I think for the past 2 years. But we think it's important to put everyone around the same table. So I expect that he will tell us. By the way, I will moderate a session with him, because I will ask him difficult questions. I want to understand what Russia is doing today. I want to understand where Russia is going. I want to understand what are their, I would say, expectations. Because, you know, in total objectivity, forget the war. We're not, FII is not about politics at all. But I think this conflict has to end, because we are missing the Ukrainians and we are missing the Russians at many tables of conversation. I can tell you, as a civil engineer, the best engineers in the world are from Russia and Ukraine. Russia and Ukraine, if they work together, you will see the impact on AI. Many great developers are from this part of the world. The best doctors are from this part of the world, you know? So this is why I think it's time to bring back the Russian, the Ukrainians to the global conversations, because it doesn't make sense. What is happening doesn't make sense. And if we can play this role, we'll be very happy.
I'm so sorry, we ran out of time. I'm getting signs all over the place to stop, but I really wish to give everybody the opportunity to ask a question. Richard, thank you for your transparency. Thank you for answering all our questions without stopping, and thank you for your time.
Thank you, Fatma. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, dear colleagues, for being here today, asking these wonderful questions, and hopefully we get to see nice reports about the 9th edition of FII and all the impact we're going to see after it as well. Inshallah. See you next time. Thank you, Richard. Thank you.